Wow, people, strange beams of light. Imagine this. Secret government programs, HARP, CERN. As of April 2013, we've been sharing this for years now. Rain Carlson submitted this photograph of a beam of light. What are we looking at? We have no idea, but it seems something extraterrestrial, in my opinion. Reverse engineered a teleportation device. Now, all of a sudden, on our Facebook, multiple accounts within days. Florida lights up. Massive storms, beams of light. People are taking pictures. We got Penny, Michael Lewis, Kirby Cameron from Fort Myers shot these photographs today when a lightning struck. It created this cool beam of light. He swears it's real. He even said, share this. Feel free to share it. We are right now to the world. Also, Michael Lewis's photographs. People are already skeptic. Within, I think, 50 minutes of the post, people are sharing what's going on around the world in real time. People are already debunking it, and it's not debunkable. Proof to the world. Third Phase of Moons sharing it. Everybody subscribe. Take a look at Facebook. Breaking news coming in. Brent Cousins here. He has some statements. Brent Cousins here. I wanted to get his opinion on what's been going down within the past couple hours right here at Third Phase of Moon in regards to these beams of light captured throughout the United States.
Fantastic footage. It's coming in real time, as it always has at Third Phase of Moon and always will be. And this is fantastic stuff. It's transporting. The beam is moving in and out. Look, as a car moves, there's not much time in space and time. This thing blinks out as an on and off switch. I'm believing it's CERN, a HARP, some sort of energy. You know how people say what's at the end of the rainbow? I would sure like to be what's at the end of this projection beam, because I believe this is something special, narrowing down as a smoking gun, a gunshot of a projectile beam. Obviously, there's something going on, and it's captured by multiple witnesses within this week.
You know, a gunshot, Brett, that's you kind of bring something up, because I'm thinking, when you say beam me up, Scotty, in its own sense, that Star Trek, this is Hollywood in real life. Is there a reason behind it? Is there a specific time and place? Is somebody there? Is it a teleportation jump? What do you think, Brett?
With all these photographs coming in, the correlation, they all look similar. They all look exactly as the last picture, this symmetry of it. The vertical light going into the hemisphere is something to behold. There's obvious intelligence behind this, and I think there is possible wormhole teleportation going on right here, right now. And this is the energy behind it. Some sort of HARP CERN government weapon.
You know, Brent, I want to get your opinion on this. The color in all the photographs represented over the past couple of years and just within the past week, they all have a similar characteristic. The color of an iridescent purple. Is there a reasoning behind this? Does anybody have a reason for this?
You're right, Blake. There is similarities between all these photos, and it's something to really behold, because it's an image of real quality, nothing Photoshop going on here. There's proof to behold. All you got to do is go do your own research, find it out, research everybody we mentioned right here, and the proof is in the pudding. These photos are legit, and there's a lot of information that we don't know that we need to know, and our scientists need to find out what this is, or people right here listening, because they might have the answer or experienced right where this portal beam was transporting itself. What's the theory behind all this?
Brent, the theory is this is real. 2013, when we put the photograph up by Rain Carlson, people thought this was a Photoshop, that it was not real. Now, all of a sudden, multiple photographs coming in a couple years later, third phase of moons ahead of the time, ahead of what's going on in real-time disclosure. Everybody, keep your eyes open. Third phase of moon breaking news. Victor Tango shares 2 images from the ISS. He states that you can see headlights coming from a dark space. Not only that, Victor, look at the reflection off planet Earth. We're enhancing the photos. Take a look at this. The dark night. People speculate that it's still operational. Could this be a close encounter? 24/7 breaking news right here at Third Phase of Moon. Let's go back to Mars. Blake Cousins here reporting along with Brent Cousins. An alien crab found on Mars by a NASA rover, posted August 2015. Some new news coming in. Is this some kind of crab-like fossil? Some people say it looks straight out of Aliens. The NASA link is below. Everybody could do their own investigation. Brent, what's your thoughts on this?
Yes, Blake, the news has been...
By popular demand, we are pleased to announce the Third Phase of Moon album is finally featured on iTunes. With all your favorite songs and themes you hear on the top UFO channel on YouTube, Third Phase of Moon. Out of This World soundtracks composed by master artist Paul Barrett. With 12 remastered and extended cuts to enjoy. Download them now, exclusive on iTunes. Click the link in the description below. Now listen for yourself, heard by millions around the world, Paul Barrett's album, Third Phase of Moon.
Going around, and I find it interesting because we're getting more detail. Is this some sort of crustacean? Is it something living in the rocks or sunbathing? Something strange. It almost looks like a shellfish as they cuddle ocean rocks.
You know, you're right, Brent. Speculation is something we have to do at this point because we don't have any idea what NASA's not telling us. Has life already been found on Mars? Well, this is photographic evidence from NASA themselves. So you can't debunk that this is real or not. It's real. It's really there. So what is it? That's a big question. Everybody do your own research. Again, the link is below. Speculation. There's been a lot of stuff coming out of Mars. Lots of photographs from Curiosity. It's been making the rounds. From the Hill, July 2015. You know, what are we looking at here? Is this some kind of pareidolia effect? We're looking at the photographs. It is quite interesting. It almost seems like it's a statue, a figurine carved out of stone right over there on the Martian surface. Is this some kind of extraterrestrial construction?
Very interesting photo, Blake. I find it somewhat stunning in its aspects. It almost seems somewhat apparitional. Could it be a ghost? Because it does look like a woman perching on a rock overlooking Mars's landscape. This is something else, and I'm not sure what to make of it. It does look like a woman, but it does look transparent. Do you see what I'm saying, Blake?
I do. I'm looking at this photograph, and right away, I can tell right away, it seems like there's a blurry image going over the shoulders of this figurine. Is it some kind of wing apparatus.
Blake, now I'm looking at it a little bit better. I might have a better picture of what we're looking at. Let's think of clothes as a woman's gown blows in the wind. That could cause this blur effect that's going on. We know that there's wind on Mars, and it looks like there could be a woman on Mars too. Could this be something connected to our jump room that we just discovered 2 weeks ago, the Stargate? Could this person be an entity on Mars traveling through Stargates from Mars to Earth?
A multi-dimensional time jump figurine, possibly captured by the rover. You know what's weird, Brent, is right away is we know NASA has photographic capabilities to bring back full vivid color for Mars, and they always just want to give us this black and white photographic evidence. You know they're scrubbing over this over and over, but there's these minuscule details that people miss over there at NASA, and that's a good thing because the people around the world aren't missing it. That's the key. Going on Mars, we've got 2 social media links that you're going to be able to access yourself and investigate. First, let's get to NASA. What are we looking at? A sequential formation of dots on the surface of Mars. What could have possibly done this? NASA, can you explain it? Now, last night, went over some other video from Mars, but while we're doing this, we're going over updates of people concerned about what's going to go down in September 2015. We actually mentioned the date last night. Take a look at this. Punch in the date on Google Maps, and this is what happens. It takes you to CERN, Switzerland now. Things are getting crazy. Why would Google Maps and CERN collaborate with some kind of September 23rd, 2015 experiment? Not exactly sure. It's just as weird. Very weird. Everybody, stay safe. Keep your eyes on the skies. And if you captured anything amazing, submit it to Third Phase Moon. Remember, the links are below. You do the experiment with Google Maps. It'll take you to CERN. Type it in, September 23rd, 2015. Keep your eyes on the skies, people. We're not alone. Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time.
Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins here, taking your calls from around the world. You know what? I just got some new information that just came in. Wow, this is going to be a good radio show when you check it out on Third Phase Moon YouTube. Let's go to Mexico, the webcam to Mexico, the Colima volcano. We've gotten shots of the strange anomalies before, but wow, this is something you need to check out. A diamond-shaped UFO. It almost looks like there's a plasma protected ceiling around it, and maybe, well, is that some kind of smoke trail? That would be weird if a UFO needs to discharge any kind of combustion. But whatever it is, it's unidentified, it's strange, it's happening now. We want to thank the people around the world that submit their footage right now. Breaking news, Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show, everybody. You know what? Let's. If the call lines are getting really packed up. You know what? Let's just get started right into it.
To your email.
Wow. Hold on, Omar. I just got your photograph. We're going to be. I have permission to share this cell phone photograph that you took yourself, or who took this?
Actually, the alien. My brother-in-law took that. And the yin-yang picture, I took that.
Nice. Well, you know, it's so tell me the circumstance behind this photograph. Quite, you know, it's definitely, it looks like an alien. It's gray. It has a gray feature. You can see the black eyes, a large head, and kind of a small slit for a mouth, and you know, the nose. You barely. Wow, this is something.
Yes.
What I love about Third Phase Moon Radio Live is people.
It's real.
Phase.
No mames, ¿qué pedo, güey?
Welcome back. Blake Cousins here. Third Phase of Moon, going over incredible video just into us all the way from Mexico. We have Ed all the way from Mexico. He's going to be going over what he captured on the video that you're looking at right now. It's quite incredible stuff. Ed, hey, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase.
Hey Blake.
All right, man. You know, let's start from the beginning. When did this happen and exactly where?
Well, it happened in December Near the center of Coyoacan. I was with my brother in his room, and actually he got very frightened because he saw in the window like a small dot. It was very, very strange because it was like a kind of a star shape, a black star shape. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very close. I mean, maybe 1 block from my house.
You know, you captured this in HD. You kept a steady hand. That's the most important thing when you see a UFO like this, to keep calm. I see in the video there's also multiple eyewitnesses to the same thing. They seem like they're having a good time. Tell me the attitude behind this sighting. What were people thinking?
The first thing, I saw it with my brother. Then we I think we were like 5 seconds, like we couldn't move. We couldn't believe how close it was. So then I called my mother and a friend that was there, and everyone started recording. And I say, I'm gonna record this very well. Thank you. You know, a lot of UFO videos are captured like very bad quality and very steady, and I think I'm gonna tape this UFO good, so it looks great, right?
Absolutely, and what we're doing with the video, I can't wait to show it to you. You're going to be seeing this when we put this up on Third Phase, but you're going to be quite excited when we stabilize this thing and we zoom it in about 700%. You're going to get a good look at this like you've never seen before. Now, what's quite incredible again is that multiple sightings, multiple camera shots. We're looking at the second angle. So you managed to call your mother and say, start recording, and this is the second angle we're looking at right now?
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of videos. I have maybe 5 videos of the same, UFO. But well, actually, there's the one from my room. I think that's the one you're seeing. And then I had the idea to go to the roof. It's on the 6th floor, and we all recorded, so it was like, a better view, I think.
Well, you know, that's what it's all about. This is really in the sky. It's no joke, people. We're not alone. And Mexico is a really hot spot in this area, the city that you're in. I've looked up on the internet as well, and there's been multiple sightings of this exact same object over the years, not just in recent times this past month, but for years now, this same object. What do you think it's all about?
Well, I don't know. I think it's strange because I've asked a lot of neighbors, and they actually seen UFOs, but almost in the dark, like it's not even easy to see them. But if you search on YouTube, it's the exact same UFO for me. It's like the same size, everything's almost the same.
Let me get your opinion on this. Is it military or extraterrestrial?
Well, I think it's extraterrestrial, that's why I believe, actually.
Let me get this from you, Ed. You've been showing this video to your friends, obviously. What's their opinion? Do they think you're nuts, or this is something quite amazing? What's their first impression?
Well, a lot of them actually don't believe. The first thing that they told me that's maybe a drone or something. But I saw, in Instagram, I searched for UFOs and all the stuff. The same day I taped it, and I saw that a girl that lives like 2 blocks from here also take a photo of the UFO, and there wasn't like a way that it could be flying, I don't know how to say it in English, but
yeah, rotor blades. Rotor blades, drones, they make a lot of noise. We have one. We know, that they really create a buzz and you don't see anything like that in the video. It seems like a perfectly metallic structure. You don't see any moving parts whatsoever. You saw it with the naked eye. It's even better than this your HD camera. Was it metallic? What did it look like?
Yeah, and I actually saw it. I have some binoculars because I often go camping. So I saw it with the binoculars very close. Yeah, I had a great view. You can see it in the video, but it was like a star, and it has like some little I don't know, maybe for landing. I don't know how to say it, but it had like 2 small things in the back. I don't know how to explain. It was very strange.
Well, and you made contact with us right here at Third Phase of Moon within 24 hours. Now we're, speaking with each other. I'm here in Hawaii. You're all the way in Mexico. Real-time information coming in. How did you find us right here at Third Phase?
Well, actually, I like a lot of the UFO videos, and I think you have the best I've seen so far. So I think I think I have a very good video. I don't know what it is. You say that it's a UFO. I really believe it's a UFO. So I think you are the guys that I wanted to to contact, to really let them see what I have, to know what I record, because I don't have an idea.
Yeah, it's unidentified flying object. Absolutely, it's a UFO. Extraterrestrial, very possible. And military, I'm kind of throwing that out. This is an unusual craft you captured, Ed. This is quite amazing, and I really appreciate you sharing this with Third Phase and the world. That's what it's all about. We're going to be playing the entire video, both videos, right after this interview, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be quite incredible. You're going to hear the reactions of the people who witnessed this. Ed, thanks again for sharing this. We're going to be sharing your original links in the description below. Everybody could take a look at that as well. Ed, keep your eyes on the skies. Again, thanks for contacting us right here at Third Phase of Moon. Good job.
Well, thanks a lot, Blake.
All right, Ed, that's quite incredible, everybody. Insane stuff going on around the world, and we're not alone. Everybody, keep your eyes on the sky.
Phase of Moon.
The time is now. Disclosure. Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon, going over 3 reports just in. We're going to go to Mars, Southern California, also NASA. Breaking news right here. The UK has something to say. Stay tuned for that, but right now we're looking at photographs directly from NASA. What are we looking at? Pompeii all over again. Do you see it? We got Brent Cousins here. We're going to go over this photograph along with more evidence just into Third Phase of Moon. Hang on, people. Things are about to get downright weird. Blake, I do see it. And I hope everybody else sees it too. 2 petrified bodies on the surface of Mars. Pompeii does come to mind, and they are very similar. This does represent something that's happened on Earth that could have happened on Mars. How far does this go? This does represent a picture of time frozen. Frozen in time by NASA themselves. The photograph and the links below there, Brent, so everybody can take a look at that. That's what I love about this submission. People are sharing this all over the internet right now. Brent, I want to point this out to you. Nobody noticed this spheric rock. Is it a rock? This footage came into Third Phase of Moon, and it's all speculation, Blake. Let's do what we do. We have to do it. Let's speculate and let everybody else do that at the same time. Imagine this new technology that you just pointed out here. It seems to be an apparatus spheric ball. It doesn't match what's going on the ground of Mars around this environment. You're right, Brent. It's as if the 2 bodies are shielding themselves from the sphere, like it was some kind of possible explosion. Just like Pompeii, we see humanity. We see it frozen in time for thousands of years. The question is, what's on Mars right now, ready to grasp? And it's so far away from us. We need to get closer. We need to touch it, grab it, hold it, and share it to the world. This could be possible Martian brothers, like I keep saying, Blake. There is a sense of another world that once existed and disappeared. Let's hope this is not the case for Earth. There is a sense going on around the world right now of possible big events, September, for, let's just say that. What's going down, guys? Wow, Brent, you mentioned the September thing. It's been kind of going rampant on the internet, and we've been getting a lot of contacts, to say the least. Apparently September 23rd, 2015, something's going to go down. If anybody has any thoughts on what that could be about,
their inkling, their insight, any inside information, share it with us right here at Third Phase Moon. Let's get to the next video. As that was said, this is quite interesting. California. This happens all the time, Brent. Nick Vaz testing his LG Ford camera for the first time. And 2 weeks later, he notices, after going over his photographs, he captures this of what looks to be some kind of unidentified flying object with 2 thruster boost jet engines. Unidentified, military in my opinion.
The Dick Cheney radio show. You called him on air and you asked the most important question. Not do you believe in UFOs, not something generic like that, but I'm going to let you go ahead and tell a story. What was it that you asked him that really stuck in my head more than anything?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, if you do get a high star, like a 4-star general of the Unified Command who will know what's going on, or a president, or maybe even a vice president, you don't want to ask them whether they've seen a UFO. You don't want to ask them what they think about UFOs, because they'll just walk around the question. The question you want to know is the briefing question. And that means if you're a high-level official, at some point, if you are read in, somebody's going to come into your office, they're going to swear you to secrecy, and they're going to tell you what's actually going on. That's the truth. That's what the government actually knows. It's the briefing. So what I asked Cheney, because Cheney had been Secretary of Defense under Bush Sr., he had been Chief of Staff for President Gerald Ford, and when I talked to him, he was actually in the White House. He was the Vice President. This was April of 2000 and... was it 2001, and he had just been in the office, Oval Office, for let's see, it came in January, so this is April the 11th this happened. And basically the rumors were going around that Cheney was running the show, that Bush was just following instructions, and the host, who was Diana Rehm from the public radio in Washington, actually asked him, are you running the show? And he said, no, I'm not running the show. And so I asked him the briefing question. I said, in all your jobs in government, Mr. Cheney, have you ever been briefed on the subject of UFOs? If so, when was it, and what were you told? And he paused. He was caught off guard. I guess he'd never faced this question before. And he said, if I had been briefed on that subject, it would probably be classified, and I wouldn't be talking about it. And then Diana Rehm stepped in, and she said, Mr. Vice President, have you had any meetings on UFOs since you got to the White House? And by then he'd sort of caught his ground, and he said, no, I've had no UFO meetings since I got to the White House. And then the next 5 questions were all about Halliburton, about him ripping off Halliburton and all this sort of stuff. And I don't think he ever appeared on a radio talk show after that. I think it was the last one he ever went on, because he was so shocked at the questions that he came under attack, and he figured he's the big vice president. But basically he said what I define as the number one thing. If you're looking at disclosure and you're looking at the cover-up, that's the number one reason that I say there is a cover-up, and it is basically the fact that if you're U.S. military, you classify everything, and you basically assume that we're the good guys. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Chinese, Russians, they're all evil, and we have to control the information, and therefore they just classify it, and it's almost like the element of surprise, what's called lead time in weapon technology. That if you have, for example, in World War II, if you have you drop the atomic bomb, of course, all the generals, Japanese generals, run to the emperor and say they just dropped this bomb and they killed 125,000 people. What are we going to do? And of course, the emperor will say, well, build a bomb and we'll drop it on them. And how long is this going to take? And they say, well, about 6 or 8 years probably. You haven't got 6 or 8 years. So that's what this whole thing is about. This is what Cheney was talking about, the fact that it's classified. And they really don't care what anybody thinks about it. We're the military. We know better. We're here to protect the people, and therefore we're going to keep it secret because it gives us the element of surprise, and we're not going to give it away to our enemies. And a number of other people have sort of been asked the question, and basically it's confirmed that there are people who know. For example, we asked General Wesley Clark, who was a 4-star general with the Unified Command, who was the head of NATO forces in Europe, and he had gone on the campaign trail in 2004 for the Democrats, and at one point was actually winning the Democratic nomination for president. And he went into New Hampshire, and Jay Buckley, who was a space shuttle astronaut, asked him the question, General Clark, what's your vision for space? And it was at that point that Wesley Clark went into this rant about the fact, I believe we can go past the speed of light. I've argued with physicists about this. I believe we can do it. And it was like, wow. And he had wanted to be an astronaut, and because his eyesight was no good, he'd gone into the Army and had become this 4-star general. And so, of course, the question that I tried to get across to a number of researchers in the United States as he was running, because in the early part of a presidential campaign, when they're doing the open houses or the sort of the town houses in like Iowa and New Hampshire, they will actually take questions. When it gets later in the campaign, then they have all sorts of ways to avoid questions. They don't want to say anything stupid, and they're sort of protecting their lead. But this was in New Hampshire, so it was one of the first states of the primaries, and I couldn't get anybody. It was very surprising that, a lot of people say, we want disclosure, we want something to happen. I could not get a lot of the MUFON state directors. I said, he's coming to your state. He's going to be taking questions. I want you to ask him the briefing question that I asked Dick Cheney. Ask him, you talked about the fact that we could go past the speed of light. You believed we could do it. And ask him the question, have you been briefed on the subject of UFOs? And nobody would ask the question. And it didn't happen until 2 days before the end of the campaign. Kerry had won the nomination to run against Bush. And it was 2 days before the end of the campaign. He was campaigning for Kerry. He was in Reno, Nevada. And a friend of mine, Dr. David Rudiak from outside of Berkeley, California, a very sharp researcher, had one chance before and had done the same thing as everybody else. He said, well, I really don't know if I want to really embarrass him. And I was saying to researchers, I said, well, I mean, if we're not going to stand up and ask this question, you can't expect the media to stand up and ask the question or expect somebody else to do it. This is our job. This is what we're here for. And if we're embarrassed, everybody else is going to be embarrassed as well. This is our job. So he had one chance before. He didn't ask the question, but he was in Reno, Nevada, happened to be there and saw that he was going to campaign. Figured I'll ask him the question. So at the end of the lecture that he was giving, he said to him, General Clark, when you were in New Hampshire, you said you believe we could go past the speed of light. I have a question for you, General Clark. Have you ever been briefed on the subject of UFOs? And he said, General Clark looked down like he was a kid that had been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And he was sort of very embarrassed. And he looked up and he said, I know a bit. In fact, I'm going to Roswell tonight. And we checked the schedule, and he actually was. Because what happens in the campaign, and you will see a lot of presidential campaigns and a lot of presidents will go to Roswell, New Mexico. They'll go there and make a speech because New Mexico is often a swing state. It's only got 5 electoral votes, but a lot of times they'll go Republican or Democrat. So at the end of every campaign, you'll see a lot of the campaign people show up in New Mexico to try to grab those 5 electoral votes. So it was true that he was going to Roswell the very next day. He said, I know some. In fact, I'm going to Roswell tonight. And that was when Dr. Rudiak was not fooled. He realized, go back with the question. So he said, so you were briefed. And he said, I know some stuff, but we have to work on our higher mathematics. And that is something that has come up from a number of different people, one of them being the former head of Lockheed Skunk Works, who was Ben Rich, who in March of 1993 made this famous speech to the alumni engineering people from UCLA, where he said, we've discovered the mistake in the equation. We now have the technology to take ET home. And so General Clark was basically stating the very same thing, the fact that mathematics has got something to do with this mystery. So that's what I encourage people to do. If you want disclosure, if you want this thing out, especially the campaign is about to start, you're going to have Hillary Clinton, who's extremely interested in UFOs, who's already been in Iowa once, who will be in New Hampshire. She'll be in Iowa, and she will be taking questions at these town halls. And I think it's incumbent upon somebody to stand up and ask her. And I can provide the documents that show that Hillary Clinton was involved with UFOs in an effort to get President Bill Clinton to disclose in 1993. We have 2 very direct documents that I provided to Fox News. I provided them to the Washington Post, and I provided them to Associated Press last time that Hillary ran, and they would not run the story. They had the documents, but they would not touch the story. But if we have this situation, I will provide people the documents that show quite clearly that Hillary was involved in UFOs. In fact, when Lawrence Rockefeller in 1993 went to the president, tried to get to the president, he was cut off at the pass by the science advisor. And it was at that level that they tried to deal with his demands for disclosure. And he said, I want disclosure, and if I don't get it, I will put a major ad in every major newspaper in the United States of America asking the president to disclose UFOs. And they knew that Rockefeller had the money, so they said, no, Mr. Rockefeller.
Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins here, going over footage that was just pointed out to me today right here at Third Phase. I reached out to the poster that posted this video. Turns out his friend captured this. What you're looking at is something unexplained. We got Ray on the phone with us. Hey, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase, Ray.
Thank you.
All right, Ray, you just gave us a cold call, and we're going over your video, or your friend's video. Tell me the circumstances behind this, and how long ago was this taken? And has anybody else seen this before besides yourself?
This video is about, I'm going to say 5 years old. And my friend went to visit his dad in Washington State. And as he was coming home here to Los Angeles, he noticed the cloud formation over the mountains, I guess, in Washington or Oregon. But anyway, he took a video of it, and he was showing me the video. And as I was watching the video, I said, well, what's that flying by? And he says, what are you talking about? And I said, well, look at the top of the video. He didn't even know it was there.
Wow. You know, it's quite fast. It's kind of funny that he didn't even notice this thing after he's showing you the video, saying, hey, take a look at this cloud. Good eye there, Ray. What did he think about that after when he pointed it out to him?
Well, he said, well, we ought to send that to the officials, you know, like the military or something, you know.
Absolutely.
He thought it was a rocket. I told him, I said, I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like an airplane. You know, I didn't see any wings, but it was clipping along pretty good.
You know, that is definitely faster than any airplane leaving any kind of trail behind. Rocket, wow, that's a very, very scary thought. It's just quite strange. I want to get everybody's opinion on this and what they think it is. You know what? We're going to keep this line public. We're going to let the people know. Maybe the FAA's got an answer for this. Some kind of basically close encounter. Ray, are you still in contact with your friend? Could you try and reach out to him so we could get his opinion on what he captured? And sure like to collaborate on this.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in over 2 years now, so it's going to be probably difficult to get a hold of him.
All right, Ray, what was the gentleman's name that captured this?
Okay, his name was Thomas Dawkins Jr.
Wow, we're going to zoom in on this, get some closer looks on this. Ray, so your opinion, what's your opinion on this? I think it could be reverse alien technology we're looking at right here.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I can't identify it is all I can say.
Wow, Ray, we appreciate you sharing this footage with us. We just spoke within minutes of each other. That's how fast we get the word out at Third Phase of Moon. How'd you come across Third Phase?
It was on YouTube, and I just started watching the videos and stuff. I started a new hobby. I want to start taking detailed images of the moon. And I just came across your site and figured, well, I'll share this video with you. See what happened.
Hey, Ray, thanks. We got some truck activity outside. I appreciate you joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon. We look forward to posting this. Keep your eyes on the skies, Ray.
You too.
All right. That was Ray submitting some incredible footage. Let's move along to some more footage that just came in via NASA, the ISS. Take a look at this.
In the process of being removed from the outside of the Zvezda service module.
Just going over NASA's new upload, as we always go over, with a fine-tooth comb. We noticed Expedition 44, Commander Gennady Padaka and Flight Engineer Mikhail Konrenko captured something quite interesting. Take a look at this very closely. Did you see it? It looks like a fleet of UFOs or some kind of close debris dangerously close to the space station. Then all of a sudden NASA cuts the feed as usual. The link is below. You could watch it yourself and notice when something unusual comes into frame all the time, NASA seems to just want to cut the feed. You know why? Because they're lying to us. They don't want to tell us the truth, that we're not alone in the universe, people. Wow, the social media is waking up. I gotta say, it's quite rampant right here at Third Phase of Moon. We got Brent Cousins. I want to get his opinion on what's going on. But just yesterday, we were sharing a lot of videos that just came in. Pictures, photos, everybody could share it right on our Third Phase of Moon Facebook site. That's happening live right now, all the time, 24/7. Third Phase of Moon YouTube, exclusive real-time interviews that we want to share.
That's right, Blake. August 10th, 2015, we received an email today from Ray, and he reached out to us, and he gave us a cold call, and that's how things are done. And what we're looking at right now is, I'm thinking it wasn't mentioned in the conversation, but I'm thinking it's more HARP. HARP's involved. This could be a mechanism, a sort of weapon that's energizing this HARP cloud as we see.
Well, right away, Brent, it is absolutely fantastic. It's been out for 5 years. I think it just got about 200 views over that time, and that, I think, is a crime in itself. This needs to be watched. The FAA, the military, what happened 5 years ago? Now that's a big question, because if HARP's involved, the high frequency active auroral research program, if this is what's going on and they're doing flybys next to passenger airliners, now this is dangerous. It's caught on video. The original link's there. Now let's get into this ISS that, again, we just broke this morning. We saw it right away when it was right at the end of the video. NASA cuts the feed as usual. Brent, what's your thoughts on this?
26 to 15,000 miles per hour. These things are projectiles, deadly killers that the International Space Station talk about all the time. It's basically their worst enemy. These things seem to be traveling at the speed of the space station. Stalking is what I'm seeing here. NASA usually, more likely than not, usually shuts down cameras, especially when some sort of unidentified flying object, in this case multiple flying objects, are crossing the lens. Immediately they shut down the camera feed. Obvious, NASA. Come on, guys. Just give it up.
Thumbs up for that. Give it up, NASA. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody now. Again. You're looking at a tourist and a family who captures incredible evidence, photos, video, 2 separate angles of the same event. Take a look at this. The Hennings captured something quite amazing. Take a look at these photos. We will be breaking more information as it comes in. It's quite amazing. It's not a balloon, it's not a drone. The Hennings described it to be about the size of a Volkswagen bus. That's what they say. And they said they could see it glimmer in the sunlight. It was a really beautiful day down there. Other people witnessed it. Hopefully more information comes in. So far the evidence is quite massive. We're adding brightness, contrast, zooming in, getting close to the object. No propellers of any kind. This is, again, incredible, amazing proof. Military, possibly, but I believe that due to the activity of this weather and this hurricane coming our way, I think there is a precaution going on, and maybe they're doing the rounds. What it's all about, that's speculation. Third Phase of Moon is going to be filming on location as Hurricane Ignacio makes its way here. I believe that massive weather phenomenon are magnets for UFO activity. Is this what was captured by the Hennings? They got something quite amazing. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We're not alone. Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody again next time.
ovni.
Sí, es un pinche papalote.
No.
Mira el avión. Ahí se va a tocar con él.
No, sí es un pinche ovni, güey.
Ya lo andaba viendo. Debe estar.
No, está muy cabrón. No mames, ¿qué pedo, güey?
Mira, el avión ya se dio la vuelta y con una animada.
Sí, güey, ¿qué pedo?
No, no es un ovni.
No, sí.
Es como un globo.
No, es que se va muy. Los globos suben y se van a.
Ha de ser como una cámara de esos aviones.
Está bajando mucho, güey.
Y ahorita saca un rayo y se va a 2 personas.
Es lo que quiero, güey. ¿Alguien si quiere me gusta? ¿Qué pedo?
Ya bajó mucho. Te dije que era una cosa así. Ya se hubiera ido.
No, si ahorita sale disparado para arriba.
Yo sí me sirvo.
Me vuelvo testigo de Jehová.
Yo sí me vuelvo testigo.
va a valer, güey?
No mames.
Ve, se le ve algo rojo.
No, se ve cara,
Porque
ya está bajando.
Ya bajó, ¿no?
Ya bajó.
Sí era un globo, no manches.
¿Cómo crees que un globo?
Era algo.
Ay, el globo ya bajó, ¿no?
Unas cosas de esas que hacen con papel.
Ah, pero ¿cómo explicas que estaba aquí y se lo llevaron hasta allá?
Alex no tuvo precio, güey. La cara de Alex fue lo mejor. Se nos invaden los ojos, güey.
Oye, pero no es papalote, sí.
No, a ver, ya ve hasta dónde está.
No es papalote, ¿no?
Ajá, con kilos,
No tiene hilo, ¿verdad? No, y aunque estuviera sin hilo, estaríamos, o sea,
Wow,
No, es debe ser uno de esos globos, ¿no?
es como, ¿qué será? Es que
Pero ¿por qué tiene esa forma así?
ajá, de cruz.
Y si corremos en chinga,
Allá arriba vamos.
By popular demand, we are pleased to announce that Third Phase of Moon album is finally featured on iTunes. With all your favorite songs and themes you hear on the top UFO channel on YouTube, Third Phase of Moon. Out of This World soundtracks composed by master artist Paul Barrett. With 12 remastered and extended cuts to enjoy. Download them now, exclusive on iTunes. Click the link in the description below. Now listen for yourself, heard by millions around the world, Paul Barrett's album, Third Phase of Moon.